Now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Ken. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm your host, Josh Taylor, in tonight for Bob Pompiani. Joining me in studio from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, he is columnist Gene Collier. Gene, let's get started talking about the Pirates. Opportunity for the second day in a row, an opportunity with a lead over Minnesota. Things go awry, middle of the game, and they can't hold on to the lead and drop a second straight game. Coming back to town for a 7-game homestand starting tomorrow, 4 against the Cubs, 3 against the Braves, who had an interesting situation happen earlier tonight. In case for those of you who didn't know, Ronald Acuna Jr., the young phenom, who I believe has 18 home runs already this season, gets hit in the elbow by a pitcher, and the bench is clear. It's the first at bat of the game, first pitch, hit in the elbow, and bench is cleared with the Braves and the Marlins. So a lot going on there with that particular situation. I don't know anything about as far as updates on whether or not Acuna will be out for a long time, but he was removed from the game because of being hit on the elbow. But that to bring it back to center here. 4 against the Cubs, 3 against the Braves at PNC Park. These are two teams that they're both chasing, by the way, in the playoff chase. So you had an opportunity to face a team who hasn't been pretty good all year, a team you beat up on in your first home series of the season, including on opening day. And here we are with 2 losses that probably should have been wins. And now they're at 61-60, just a game above 500. So where do you even start to assess where things are and where they could be?
Well, if you look at this road trip and the homestand that preceded it, I mean, you've got the Pirates essentially playing 500 baseball or 1 or 2 games below it after adding Chris Archer. There's no time for that anymore. Now, as you said, 7 games with the Cubs and the Braves, and on top of that, back out on the road for 7 with the Brewers and the Cardinals.
Yes.
So really,
2 more teams you're chasing.
These next 2 weeks will pretty much tell the story.
You mentioned Chris Archer. Comes in today, pitches 5+ innings, gets into the 6th, but does not survive. Gives up 4 runs, 7 strikeouts, but leaves with a no decision. Edgar Santana comes in behind him, gives up the eventual game-winning run, and then eventually Keone Keller gives up a home run in the 7th inning to, of all people, Bobby Wilson, who entered the game, I believe, hitting below his own weight, and was 2 for 3 and drove in a couple runs, including a home run that he just destroyed. So the bottom of the Twins lineup pretty much feasted on Pirates pitching today, too. So not a good day all around as far as the starting rotation and the bullpen either. Yeah,
Chris Archer really, really unimpressive in 3 starts. He happened to win one of them. The Pirates happened to win 2 of them, but he has been really unimpressive.
And to his credit, he talked about this after the game, pretty much said, the process has been great, but the results haven't been there. And he talked about needing to, work on it in between and go on his next start. Pretty much said, look, I need to be better. He admits to it, and he knows what the situation the team is in. And another thing that you can I guess I can at least appreciate, he knows walking in that this team is in a much better position than the team that he left. So he's approaching it with a sense of urgency, but he also knows the results aren't there. I guess if nothing else, I can respect that he's admitting that he hasn't at least done what he's expected to do.
Chris Archer talks really well. I mean, he's a great PR guy. He looks like a great ambassador for the team and the game. But he's on the mound so far in Pittsburgh. He's very unimpressive.
I'd say average, if not, maybe slightly below average as far as the results are concerned. Let's move over to the Steelers. Second preseason game going on tomorrow night in Green Bay. We already know no Ben Roethlisberger. We know no Landry Jones. So it comes down to Josh Dobbs, Mason Rudolph. Gene, I guess it's safe to say these 2 guys are playing for one job. As Mike Tomlin would say, 2 dogs, 1 bone. In your opinion, who is the guy who has the most to prove, and who is the guy that's trying to at least hold on to the job as opposed to not lose it?
Joshua Dobbs is going to lose this job. I mean, I don't think there's any getting around it. I mean, I know he can. I think he does a decent job in the times, the few opportunities he's been given, which have all been in the preseason. But just look at the reality of it. Mason Rudolph is a draft pick, and a high one. And, at least for now, the heir apparent. They're not going to cut him. They're not going to cut Landry Jones because they have no one with any experience.
He's the short-term solution, and Mason Rudolph's the long-term solution, I guess you would say.
So, I mean, the only way Dobbs sticks around is if someone in front of him gets hurt.
Now, let's say for the sake of argument, everybody remains healthy. We get through camp, and these guys all get through unscathed. Or I should say get through this preseason because camp's now over. But we get through the preseason, all these guys are unscathed, and you get down to final roster cuts. And you realize you can't keep Josh Dobbs. Is there a possible trade market for a guy like Josh Dobbs, who's probably a third quarterback on this roster and maybe a second or third quarterback or any other roster?
I don't know. I mean, there might be a team out there that wants to utilize his running ability. There aren't many of those in the NFL. He doesn't have a great pedigree. So, I mean, I would not be hopeful if I were him.
What we will do, we will take a break. We come back. We will answer your phone calls, 412-575-2600, taking your tweets as well. See you in a few.